Welcome, friends and foes, to another fabulous episode of In the Library of Graphic Literature with your host, Wallace Ryan.
Yay! Boo, 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 boo. Boo!
And of course we have Lupo, the Comix Loving Cat.
Yay! And Luna, our special host.
Mistress of the Library.
Mistress of the Library. Oh,
This paw gets
and that cat is running away.
Come back over. Come
You're
here.
gonna come...
You're the guest.
No.
Come over. Come on. Yeah, you know you want to. Come on.
There.
There we go. Alright, well, first up, we have...
Okay, this is Animals in Comics, and now, of course, the covers aren't going to... They're going to be roughly related to the person. Now, this is a Legion of Superheroes, but the number 10 spot is Krypto the Super Dog. Yay! And if you go flick to the designated spot there, as a matter of fact, this has not only Krypto the Super Dog, but it has the Legion of Super Pets. Right?
There's a super horse.
Yeah, and Streaky the super cat. And
Oh
then
my goodness. And a monkey.
And Super Monkey. I can't remember what they called him. But I mean, Krypto was, he was just a dog, really. He just, he hung out with, no, they're all intelligent thinking animals. And, even there he's thinking, right, let's go gang, this is a job for the Legion of Super Pets. Now, if they were, really truly thinking animals, would they call themselves that, or would they say super animals, right? But anyway, Krypto, I guess, was my favorite out of all the super pets, right? He was always hanging out there with Superman, having a good time, and I figured, okay, and he appeared in a lot of different, like the other one, Streaky. Streaky was more actually Supergirl's pet, the cat, but you would see, you'd see Krypto all the time, actually, in comparison, right? So, Krypto the Super Dog, our number 10 spot. Dun 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 dun. I'm going to lay this over here. Okay, and next up actually is...
a single comic.
Yeah, a single comic. I actually don't have this in book form, but it's still one of my favorite, I guess, animal in comics in a way. It's a dog this time, and the name of the comic is Dalod.
I was trying to figure out what animal it was. It kind of looked like a horse, so I was just like,
Yeah, he's, it was showed to the people from Fantagraphics. I had to double check that, but I was pretty sure. And I loved it. It's by Jan Strand. I can never remember. Strand, I used to pronounce his name. I can never get his name right. And Dennis Fujitaki. And this was a great... it only lasted 8, and then it appeared in this other one called Flesh and Bones. And it was... it sort of ended there, which is too bad, because it was a great animal comic. Dalod is a dog who... Well, he's from a planet of people who look like dogs, I guess, right? And he comes to our planet, and it's all kinds of intrigue and stuff going on. One of my favorites. I'd love to see this reprinted. Hey, stop biting me. Sometime. Okay, our number 8 is the Changeling, or Beast Boy, as he was known when he first appeared in the Doom Patrol, which is quite a long ways. This one's pretty heavy too, isn't it?
yes, it is.
And, here it is. Oh, right there. This is his first appearance. Actually, this is his second appearance, but this
Beast
was
Boy.
his first thing. As a matter of fact, when he joins the Teen Titans years later, he still has the outfit left over from when he was with the Doom Patrol, right? And when he joins the Teen Titans years later, he has a red outfit with a white stripe, just like that. Because he does more or less become a member of the Doom Patrol, but unlike the rest of the Doom Patrol, he wasn't doomed. They all died at the end of the series. Some were resurrected, yada, yada, yada. But yes, but I always did like kind of Beast Boy, and when he became part of the Teen Titans as Changeling, he could turn into any animal and all that. But he sort of became became more of a fleshed out character. In the early days, he was kind of like just some annoying kid, rich kid who could turn into any kind of animal. So it was kind of like, after a while, right?
Look, Pussycat, the resemblance is uncanny.
Just like you.
Looks just like the pussycat.
And this is our number 7, Blacksad. Blacksad, of course, is a cat detective, and was one of my favorites. Beautifully drawn, and it has other animals involved in it there.
Oh, the furries must love this one.
I'd rather not talk about them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway, we'll show the people the artwork, but it's a detective comic, and the art is absolutely fabulous in it. Love the storyline. Now these originally, I can't remember if they're Spanish originally or whatever it was, but they're wildly imaginative. So,
I'll say.
So Blacksad to me is, of all the cats, he's one of my favorite cat characters, right? Now, of course, a lot of the things on this list is going to be cat humanoid things, right? So, anyway, on to our number, what is this? Our number 6 here. This is, what is this guy? He is a badger. This is Grandville. Badger. He's going to badger you. Now, this guy Brian Talbot, who I'm a big fan of, pretty sure he did some stuff with.
Interesting art there.
I think he did I'm pretty sure he did something with Gaiman. I thought he did a couple episodes of The Sandman somewhere. Right?
There's frogs.
There's frogs. There's everything, and it's set. It's funny because the whole. I'll hold it up to the people. The whole thing is set like in England, like in a alternate universe England, where there are animals and all that, but France had won the war and taken over England, and now they were letting England be free again. And well, there's all kinds of different cases, but great animals there. Oh, I love the hippo. Oh. Mm-hmm. But I mean, all the animals great. I mean, the drawing. I love the drawing, and just the feeling for it too. It does have this very Victorian feel to the whole thing. Even the drawing has. It's hard to say it has some sort of Victorian feel to it. Mm. But yeah, love it. And I think the last book was the one I haven't read yet. This is a collection of all the Grandville stories. So pick it up. Actually picked this up too. I mean, got them all in one big go. And Grandville was our number 6. Our number 5. And people always know I'll stick this on my list. This was Dave Sim High Society Cerebus the Aardvark. I love that drawing of Cerebus as he's heading up with his sack of loot into it. There he is there. And his elf, the elf he talks to, the Regency elf. The hotel he stays at here is haunted by this elf that will only talk to him. But it's I mean, he, like a lot of my favorite animal characters, has a real political bent to it. I mean, there's satire in it. There's a lot of great comedy in it, and but the political intrigue bit of it I really like. And in this, he's running to be prime minister. That's it. And so you get to see his campaign, which is really cool. Okay, now on from Cerebus, my favorite aardvark, to possibly my favorite rabbit even.
Usagi.
No, I didn't use Bugs Bunny because he's more of a cartoon. I stuck to comic book animals. And so my favorite rabbit is Usagi Yojimbo, the samurai rabbit we all know and love. Now this is a collection of various stories from, what was this one? Oh, this is Usagi Yojimbo Saga Legends edition. So this is just a bunch of different stories and the like. But I mean, I've been reading Usagi since the 80s. It started way back in the 80s. I met him once actually, and he's a very nice guy. But it's one of the comics I keep reading. I've read right up until the past couple of years anyway. So it's probably the comic I've been following the longest now that I think about it. Strangely enough, but I mean the drawing is great. The stories are fascinating. They really do feel like samurai epics, right? So if you ever get a chance, check it out. Check it out. Check about it.
And we can't forget your favorite.
Oh yes, of course. We're getting into the ducks now. We'll start, of course, with
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. Anything animal. If Cerebus is there, can Howard be far behind? Now Howard I like because he has a real attitude, and it's just great satire. I like the fact that he smokes cigars and he doesn't wear pants until Marvel sued him. Was sued by Disney and they had to make him wear pants. Now this is one of his earlier solo appearances where he takes on Gorko the Man Frog. Oh, and Hell Cow, where he faces a vampire cow. But I mean the stories were just amazing. He was with this guy, and this is the first issue, which one of my favorites. And this was done with this guy Frank Brunner. And Brunner only stayed on. Well, he did a couple of the other stories, but then he was gone within an issue or two, and then this guy, Gene Colan, took over doing them. And at first when they said, oh, Gene Colan is going to be doing Howard, we all thought, Gene Colan doing Howard the Duck? It's just like, what the heck? Has the world gone insane? Because Colan at the time was doing a strip called Tomb of Dracula. So, I mean, that was more horror related. And he did Daredevil superhero stuff, and he's one of my favorite artists of all time. I just never thought that he would be perfect for it, but he was fabulous. He had an amazing run on it. Oh, and there he is, sleeping with Beverly like he always did. Yeah. But I mean, it was and it made the comic even more sophisticated to me. It was just the drawing style really added up to really.
He looked so much like Donald in these issues.
Yeah. And in some ways, so very unlike him. Oh, this is when he becomes possessed by the son of Satan. So some great stories, and I love the art, but the stories were magnifique. Now, speaking of ducks, our number 2 is a bunch of ducks together, I guess. It is the Disney Ducks. Uncle Scrooge because of his Scrooginess. Donald because of his wackiness. Then Huey, Dewey, and Louie just because they keep everything together. But then some of the other ducks too, like Gyro, Gear Loose, but Uncle Scrooge and Donald are my favorite, without a doubt, right? And it's funny because I was never really into the. I read the Duck comics when I was a kid, because we thought, oh, these are great kid comics. But when I got older and sort of rediscovered them, it was just like, these are all just great stories anyway. So, got into the Ducks thing, and I never got back out of it. I emerged, I descended into it, but I never emerged.
Open sesame.
Sesame. Now this is the Cave Valley Battle. This I do believe is the last in the series, and they're going to go back and do the first couple of books in this. It's 20-something books to this series, right? And this is the Carl Barks. These are all the Carl Barks stories. Carl Barks was the guy they called the Duck artist, because he, of all the artists who did the Duck books and that in the early days, everyone could tell his aside from anyone else, because he did it the best. So, and then years later they found out who the good Duck artist was, and he sort of emerged from obscurity and became well known. And actually, I think I do believe by the time he died, people had realized who he was, and he'd gotten a lot of the kudos that he should have gotten. Mm-hmm. So check this out. And if you're gonna, and for modern ones, the Don Rosa, the Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck. Oh my God, it's such a great story. That actually, out of all of them, that's one I like to get you to read. You'd love it. Now, my number 1 animal in comics is ding 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 ding. Da 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 da. Right here is actually, he's even right here. I thought I had him around here somewhere. Oh. He was actually. We had him here in plush. I forgot to show is Lockjaw. Da 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 da. And this is obviously a much smaller version of him, because in the comics, as we see here, he's like several feet high. He's the dog he's the teleporting dog belonging to the Inhumans.
So he's more like this big.
Yeah, there's a good scale, a perfect scale, yeah. And I mean, you even see them there. Look, they got their hands there petting them. But I mean, to me, when I first started reading Marvel comics, and I came across Lockjaw, it was just like, what who creates an animal like this? A huge bulldog with an antenna, glowing antenna on his forehead, and he teleports.
I feel like
right?
he got the color off though.
Yeah. He was always a little bit darker than that, but it was a cool character. It was just so wildly imaginative, just so different that it made it. As a matter of fact, when I was talking to someone about it, I can't remember if it was Dennis or if it was Paul. They said, oh yeah, I think it was Dennis. Said, well, Lockjaw was about the best thing about the recent Inhumans series they tried to make. It said it was terrible except for the dog. The dog Lockjaw was perfect. And basically it's like a big dog, and he was the pet of Crystal, who ends up marrying Quicksilver, who is the brother of Wanda. So she ends up being Wanda's sister-in-law. And I guess that's their... And the dog, the dog would be zatting around, and she was just like the only one who could control Lockjaw. Well, some of the other people in Humans, if the dog knew you and trusted you, he'd take you wherever you wanted to go, right? But it was, but so cool. Who comes up with ideas like that? Well, I'll tell you who. Jack the King Kirby. Yay! Anyway, a couple of things, actually, a couple of announcements. There's, oh yes, and this happened between the time that our last show was done and now, because we had a lot of stuff happening anyway. One thing is that myself and Paul Tucker have been both nominated for a Sequential magazine award. You can go to their site actually and vote on it. Both of us were nominated for favorite artists, so we're...
You should link that in the description.
Yes, I will. So we're fighting it out. But also the book that he drew and I lettered, Stringer, is also nominated for Best Graphic Novel, so definitely get out and vote for that one. And vote for either me or Paul. I don't care. I hope just one of us wins it, right? And, oh yes, and I got a senior artist grant here from Arts NL here in Newfoundland, which will enable me to continue the work of the library.
You got a grant for the old skipper?
I tell you, and of course now, oh yes, and it'll be about another 2 weeks until Thursday Comics is back. The computer will be arriving and we'll be back in business. And I think that's about all the announcements and such. Oh, our next episode will have a lot of new books. Right, so I got a little pile of new books. So
went on a little shopping spree, did you?
Yeah, did we? Didn't we? So we got a few anyway to start off. I don't know if we'll do them all. Maybe I'll now some are a little bit older, but there's a couple of new ones thrown in, right? So we will start to show you a few more newer ones. There actually has been a lot of really great comics that, because I've bought all the ones that were really good or whatever, and but yeah, it was a bit of a slow period, right? Anyway, I guess this is our animal episode. Oh look.
Well, you got the honorable mentions that you always forget to mention.
Oh yes, our honorable mentions. Oh yes, okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog, good one. One which I missed and you got, El Defo, because I had forgotten that they were rabbits, is it? In El Defo. And you were pointing, I said, here's a book to read, El Defo. And you said, oh, the rabbits. I said, no, they're not rabbits. And then you showed me, it's just like, okay, must be many years ago I read that one. Great book all the same. Mouse, of course. Mighty Mouse, thank you for that one. Boris the Bear, which was a bizarre, I think it was Dark Horse did it way back in the 80s.
There's also a story of the Sandman where he turns into a fox to help a fox.
Oh, okay. Is there a cat one too? Is there a cat episode 2, I think?
The lady turns into a fox to try to get revenge against someone else. But it's an interesting story. Yeah. It's a gold book. I forget the name of the book.
Okay. But now there is one where he becomes a cat for, isn't he, like Sandman, the cat Sandman? I think there was.
That might be the fox one.
Okay. Omaha the cat dancer. That's another one.
Wait, he does turn into a cat.
Okay.
I remember that one now.
But it looks really cool. Omaha Cat Dancer. It was a 80s, 90s independent comic that was about this cat who was like a stripper, right? But very edgy comic. And last but not least, who do I got in there? Oh, Snoopy. Because Snoopy did appear in some comic book. Because Schultz did do some comic books, not a lot, so yeah, I had to throw in.
Would you forget Snoopy?
Well, exactly. I had to throw in Snoopy, right? That being said, I could throw in Hobbs.
Yeah.
Too. I think I'd probably throw in Hobbs anyway, right? And
if there's any more that you
Mickey
guys
Mouse.
think we're forgetting,
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. I didn't throw in Mickey Mouse.
comment below if you
yes. Comment below.
know of any more.
I think we got most of the animals anyway. But yeah. Let us know if we missed any of them.
Mm-hmm. We missed a spot.
Yes, if we missed a spot. Anyways, we'll see you next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for having us over. And keep on reading. Yay!
Bye.
Bye. Come on, cat. Get up. Meow.